Thank you for visiting the Complete Property Detailing website. I'm Geoff Collins, the proprietor, and we're in Vermont in Melbourne constructing a display pond for anybody to come and have a look at. The pond's taken a couple of months to complete. We're in the process of laying all of the rocks today. These are mudstone, and first of all I'd like to thank Murray Hill Excavations, Trans Rock in Churnside Park and Lotus Water Gardens in Elstonwick for the support that they've provided for me. So this is a new venture that Complete Property Detailing is getting into. This pond is approximately 14,000 litres. It was dug by hand. It was then sculpted and laser levelled with wet brick sand. And this black liner that you see is a pond liner. It's been filled with water for some time. We've got carbuncle fish in there, we've got frogs, we've got goldfish, we've got catfish, and what we're trying to do is create our own kind of native ecosystem. So we've got flowering gums in the background that will attract the birds. We've already got dragonflies, lizards, frogs visiting the pond, and it's a beautiful area just to relax at the end of the day. I suppose with any pond, one of the most important things is your engineering. It's no good to make this kind of investment and then find that the filtration of the water doesn't keep up with the size of the pond. This filtration system has an ultraviolet light. The ultraviolet light won't handle 100% of the output of the pump. So we've diverted 50% into the ultraviolet light and 50% of the water into the filter. We've actually got a satellite system, so directly behind me in the pond is the main pump, but what we've done is we've actually connected an extension hose and a satellite filter system, so the water is actually being drawn from two areas of the pond at a time. And we find that every 24 hours this pond is turned over about 2.5 times. What that means is that your water is always clear, and if you engineer it properly, there's going to be minimum maintenance. This is the fountain area. I'm going to have some water cascading over the top rock here. We thought it would be quite interesting to put that vertical rock there. Now that vertical rock will have a galvanised stirrup concreted in behind it, and then we'll put dynabolts into the rock to hold it vertical. But just for the moment, we've used the tree there just to support it and make sure that it's safe during the construction stage. One of the things that we've done is we've tried to make this friendly for animals, and what we have done is we've created a little area here where we're going to have a run for some blue-tongue lizards coming through here. They come under these rocks for cover, and there are also around the pond there are areas of stone where lizards, frogs can actually exit the pond. The last thing you want to do is create a nice pond like this, try and have it inviting for wildlife, and then come out every morning and have to fish out floating frogs or floating lizards. So if you do want to create a pond like this, very important that you actually have some exit points and some entry points for the wildlife. Murray Hill Excavation's been absolutely fantastic, and when you're doing something like this, it's a little bit different to digging rocks into dirt. The rubber liner that I've got here is a $2,600 worth of liner, and if it's punctured by placing the rocks down, we have to start again with the pond. So what I do want to suggest is anybody who has a pond like this and they need somebody who is well versed and experienced with placing large rocks like this, I couldn't recommend Murray high enough. Well, this is certainly one of the largest rocks that we've moved today. In terms of the construction of the pond, what we've done is we've tried to build up this side here, but to my right hand side where we're going to have a parking area, we want to try and keep things as low as possible. Obviously the rocks are up and down, and we've tried to make them look as random as possible, but one of the things that we thought of was that it's probably not a bad idea if we could put a seat or something here where we could sit, read a book, have a cup of coffee, and just contemplate the beauty of the pond and the fish. So we purchased this rock, and what we're going to do is we'll put a park bench on it, so we can actually sit here, read a book, or just relax after a stressful day and contemplate nature and the pond. Our pond is nearing completion. We've completed all of the rock work. We've got some further landscaping work to do, but our fish are happy, they're breeding, they're having babies. We've got our waterfall in. We've got our nesting box for our lizards, and we're just waiting for some further landscaping works to be done before the entire project's finished. So here I am again, once again on my contemplation rock. This is my favourite point of the pond. When I come home, first thing I do, crack open a beer, come down here, relax for about 20 minutes and feed the fish. One of the things that we need to do to finish all of this off is we need to put a retaining wall here. It'll be a dry stone wall. I'm yet to decide what kind of stone that we're going to use for it, but once the wall's in here, we will then have an area where we can backfill with crushed granite in between the rocks and then do some planting. So here we are with one of the finer details of the pond, the fountain. We wanted it to look as natural as possible, and wanted the look of the cascading water down the rocks. One of the things that this does is it allows the salts and minerals from the rocks to actually go in and improve the water. You'll notice our large vertical stone there, very important. When you're putting something like that up, that you ensure that it's not going to fall over and hurt anybody. There is a large piece of steel concreted rather deeply into the ground behind that is not seen, and that way we can ensure that we have no movement of the rock at all. One of the things in the concept was an area for some blue-tongue lizards, which I absolutely love and have wanted since I was a young kid. This is a plastic box buried into the ground. We've put a plyboard lid on the top of it and bitumised it so it will stand up to weather. Eventually it will be covered with mulch. We've got a ventilation cap here, and we also have a little lid here where I can drop food in. Inside here we've got a nesting box for the lizards. And there's a 150mm pipe which has been cut into the bottom of that and goes underground and comes out at a nice sunny protected area for the lizards.